What up? Boosted boy, boosted boy, boosted boy. What up, internet world? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. This video, let's talk about boosted board for a minute. Now, if you guys have noticed, I am a huge fan of boosted. I love riding my V. Why did I just say B? I meant V2. I love riding my V2. This is a great board to ride. But let's talk about boosted really fast because I've noticed a couple things that have changed over the course of, I guess, the course of 2 years or ever since I started riding boosted. So first off, last year, well, I guess since this is 2019, I guess in 2017 I spent the summer in New York, and this was the first year that I had my boosted board. I got it right before the summer, and then I went to New York. I stayed about 3.5 months, and in New York I went on a lot of group rides in New York City. Man, tons of people would come out and ride on the weekends. Sometimes we'd have 40 or 50 riders come out. We would just ride around, go charge at a Starbucks. But back in 2017, riding boosted was a whole lot different than this year, or let's just say last year. Gosh, this whole new year has got me a little thrown off. I want to say this year and last year, but I have to say, 2017, 2018, 2019. Time flies when you're having a good time. Definitely. So back in 2017, the problem with boosted, well, I guess it wasn't really a problem, but with boosted they only had the standard range battery. Okay, so standard range battery. And also back in 2019, other electric skateboards were not as popular, especially DIY. They were not as popular as they are, I would say, today. But back then everyone would have the 5-mile battery. You get like 5.5 miles. And in New York, we would all get together, and gosh, in 2017, it was literally almost all boosteds. Like almost all boosteds. Like 80% of the riders that would come out had boosted boards. Like everyone had the same board. And I really enjoyed it back then because it was just a different like culture. Like everyone was just like, we would just go hang out, charge, talk, ride, charge, ride, talk, hang out. A few of us digital nomads, we would basically ride all day in the daytime because a lot of us just worked on the computer. So what we would do is we would wake up early in the morning, and I was staying in Staten Island. I would wake up, take the ferry over to Manhattan, ride up, get a nice little ride in, meet the guys. We hang out at a coffee shop, we charge. As we're charging, we're all working on the computer, getting our work done. And then, as soon as we get done charging, an hour, we go charge, we go somewhere else. And that was just so much fun, It was just a lot of fun. It was just a whole different culture. Today, what I see is, I see a lot less boosted boards, I see no one riding boosteds like I once did. In 2017, you would go to the events, majority boosted. Today, the last event I went to in SF, I don't know what it's like in New York because I haven't rode with the New York groups in a while, but I rode with the SF group. It was like 2 boosted boards, and what has taken over? Calis have taken over. Trampas have taken over. They're like half of the boards now. When I go riding in the Bay Area, half of the guys have DIYs, and they have Trampas, and they have Calis. In New York, the Cali board is very popular. So why is the Cali board so popular? Well, the Cali board's very popular. You can go faster. Some Cali boards, you can go like 35 miles an hour. And, boosted, I don't think they're going to ever release a board that goes that fast because that, honestly, that's pretty dang fast. Like, I don't want to go 35 miles an hour on a skateboard. I don't think most people go 35 miles on a skateboard, but it's just that whole deal that, you can go 30 miles an hour. It's kind of like having a Lamborghini and that you can go 190 miles an hour, but you're probably not going to go 190 miles an hour. I guess it's one of those deals. Also with Cali, you can get much greater range versus a boosted. Boosted now has the extended range battery, and they advertise that you can get 14 miles on a charge, and yeah, that's 14 miles on a charge if you are in beginner mode and you're going really slow. Myself, I get about 10 miles on that 14 mile range battery. So I get 10 miles, which is okay, but on Calis you can get you know, at least 25 miles, 20 miles. Depending on the batteries you choose, you can get 30 miles range on a Cali board. And also really depends on how fast you ride as well, how fast you take off, how much you stop and all that sort of thing. But with boosted, I've just noticed that it seems like a lot of people that I know that used to ride boosted, like hardcore, don't ride boosted anymore. Like everybody has either switched, pretty much majority of people have switched to either Calis or they switched to unicycles. Like especially in the Bay Area, I think just because of the hills, and on a skateboard you're gonna get way less range, but on a unicycle you can get, gosh, some of those unicycles get like 40 to 50 mile range. They have one unicycle that can get 100-mile range. Like you can go 100 miles without charging it. Like that's insane. Like now on the hills and all that, maybe that's gonna knock down to probably about 75, but still 75 miles. Like that's just, that's amazing. Like you're not gonna get that on a skateboard. You know, it's kind of hard to compete with that. Now there is a big rumor that Boosted is working on a new project, or they're working on a new product, and a lot of people are saying that this is gonna be a scooter. Like an electric scooter, very similar to, I guess, a lot of the electric scooters you see around town. But I would imagine Boosted would just be selling their electric scooter. And I'm trying to figure out, how is Boosted going to make a really, really, really cool electric scooter? Because there's tons of electric scooters out there already, and I mean there are a few that are really, really cool, but they're in that like $2,000, $3,000 range, and they have quite a bit of power. And I can't imagine Boosted, you know, releasing something like super beastie, like something in the $5,000 range or $4,000 range. We'll have to wait this spring and see if Boosted release anything new. Hopefully it's like a scooter or maybe a unicycle or possibly an electric skateboard with big wheels. You can go off-road on an electric skateboard, and something with much better range. I totally kind of get why Boosted wanted to keep the battery small, therefore you can take it on an airplane and travel with, but they should totally make a board that, you know, you can't take on an airplane and you can't travel with. That would totally be nice, because that would be really, really cool, especially in the city, man. Especially in the city. Just the other day I literally crashed on my Boosted board, like literally on Market Street. Someone's calling me. I literally crashed on my Boosted board, like on Market Street, and like it was in the middle of traffic, and I was like carving, and I was freaking hit the train tracks, and I was thinking, man, it's about time for me to get some big wheels, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I kind of like those big wheels now. So hopefully Boosted comes out with something really, really soon. But this is a couple things I've noticed with Boosted. Like, you know, things have sort of switched up, you know? Like, I see a lot of the core people jumping ship, and they're going over to Cali, and they're going over to, gosh, there's so many other electric skateboards out there right now. Like every time I go online, like I see a new electric skateboard. There's a new company like with some new electric skateboard, and this one is gonna be the one. And hopefully Boosted can pull in, and they can just keep going with it. And hopefully the tariffs don't affect Boosted. I don't know if like these Trump tariffs are gonna affect, but I was looking at buying a juice bike, and the tariffs have already increased the prices of juice bikes like by a lot. And I was surprised. Like, I'm like, whoa, man, that's like a lot more money than what it was before. Like, gosh, I should have bought this crap like 6 months ago. I would have saved like a lot of money. Hopefully Boosted doesn't like fall into that category, because I know that like the components and all this stuff's like made in China. I don't know where the deck's made, but I know the wheels are probably made in the US, but if Boosted, I don't know exactly where the wheels are made, so hopefully they're made in the US. Hopefully Boosted didn't like outsource that to China, but I'm pretty sure the trucks and like everything else is made like in China. Probably the batteries are made, I don't know where the batteries could be made at. They could be made somewhere else. But yeah, a majority of the board is definitely made in China, so hopefully like the boards don't go up because of the tariffs. But that really sucks that like prices are like increasing. So we'll just have to wait and see if Boosted release anything new. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Boosted right now. Now you guys know earlier last year in 2018, Boosted released the Mini, and honestly, I really don't see that many Minis out there. I think that they got to the market kind of late. This is a very, very small niche market. For example, if I lived in a place where it rained a lot, I would probably not want to pay as much for an electric skateboard, just because I know I'm not going to ride it as much. Unlike me, I live in the city, which I can use it like a whole lot more than I could use a car, and it's also much more convenient than a car, I would be more willing to pay more money for it because I would just get more out of it. I would get more use out of it. And I think that market of people is just very, very, very small in this electric skateboard market, in this whole just, you know, electric vehicle market where you know, ride on electric vehicles and unicycles. I think that there's just a small percentage of the population that's willing to do that. It's almost like motorcycles. Like, everybody don't ride motorcycles. You know, way more people ride bikes, but less people ride motorcycles. Maybe people feel motorcycles are dangerous, just like electric skateboards and electric unicycles. A lot of people would say, I would never ride that thing around town. I would never ride that in traffic. Like, you must be crazy. Like, I would just rather take the bus. But oh, believe me, it's so much better than taking the bus. What a great way to get around the city. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thanks a lot for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, yo. Keep riding boosted.